Yes, sir.
Yeah, we got you, Steve.
All right, CL, go ahead. CL Brown. Hey, since Dawson, since all of our players today are new to us, if you could introduce and say where you're from as well. Thank you.
Dawson, this is CL Brown. I'm with the Raleigh News and Observer. I talked to Coach Williams before, and he mentioned that they tried recruiting you out of high school as well. I wondered if you could kind of walk us through what that recruitment was like, and how close were you initially to choosing Carolina over Marquette?
Yeah, so the first time around, you're right, North Carolina was heavily in the mix, but I ended up, it was close, honestly. North Carolina was in my top 7, top 5, but then I ended up just choosing to go to Marquette.
Did the fact that you guys ended up playing in Chapel Hill, getting that taste of being in the Dean Dome, did that factor into, this decision to transfer?
I don't know if it I don't know if it factored in much because, I still had that good relationship with Coach Hubert, and obviously Kerwin got that connection. So it was cool to play in here, such a historic building last year. But at the end of the day, I came here because it was the best fit for me.
Davis Wallace and Andrew Jones.
Hi, Dawson. Davis Wallace with Sports Illustrated UNC. I am just curious to ask you, what do you think is the biggest advantage of being a left-handed player that few realize is an advantage?
I think the biggest advantage for me being a left-handed player is actually the only thing I do is shoot the ball left-handed. I'm actually right-handed, like in real life. So, I think I finish better with my right because, I throw with my right and all those types of things. So honestly, I think that's my biggest advantage, just being right-handed in life, but just a left-handed shooter.
Okay, so I'll follow up with that. So why do you shoot with your left hand if you're right-handed and everything else?
I think it's just when I grabbed the ball for the first time, kind of probably how I was raised. Whoever, my dad, when he taught me to play basketball, probably had me shooting left-handed.
Andrew Jones, Brendan.
Hey, Dawson, Andrew Jones with Tar Heel Illustrated. So how much of a role did Kerwin play in you eventually choosing Carolina?
He played a good role just because, me and Kerwin had some really good years together in AAU, and I know what he's about. He's a really hard worker. He keeps the main thing. And so I was just excited to come here and be a part of a great team with him.
You came in a little bit later than some of the other transfers. How quickly did you adjust to stuff? And I'll go back to Kerwin again. How much did it help having him at Carolina kind of help you quickly adapt and adjust to things?
Yeah, I'm still learning every day. Still adjusting every day, but Kerwin's been a big piece of it. Just having someone around that you're comfortable with helps a lot.
Thank you.
Brendan.
Hey, Dawson, this is Brendan Marks from The Athletic. Welcome to Chapel Hill. You mentioned that relationship that you built with Coach Davis when he was initially recruiting you the first time around. What was sort of his pitch to you the second time around? What were the things that he told you that make you feel like UNC was ultimately the best shot for you the second time around?
Yeah, I think he really just laid out what's realistic. And, me having a great opportunity to come in here and help this team out a lot. And we're very talented this year. So, the sky's the limit. And that was really the biggest selling point.
In terms of your fit on the court, did he sort of walk you through some of the specifics of how he wanted to use you? And I guess, can you describe how you imagine that role looking this year?
Yeah, he just described to me, really just wants to use me as a versatile player, allow me to be a playmaker, whether it's coming off ball screens, setting ball screens. He just wants me to be able to play loose and just do what I do best.
Thanks.
Ross, then Greg Barnes.
I was going to ask about fit and role, but Bryn asked that. Ross Martin with Inside Carolina. But I guess I'm going to ask, what do you think about kind of Carolina basketball actually being in it and campus in Chapel Hill? What are your kind of initial thoughts just walking around and being part of this program, this team now?
Honestly, my first initial thought when I first came here was just how cool it was, that all the pros come back and people that I grew up watching. They're all back here and they're treated like family still. It's not a joke around here when they don't say that lightly. And it's just cool because, the pros, they come back and they, chop it up with us. They respect us. They give us pointers. It's just like one big family. And that's something that I just really the coolest thing that I've noticed so far.
Greg Barnes.
Hey, Dawson, did want to follow up on what Brendan was asking about fit. Kind of what is your understanding a little bit that you've gone through practice, kind of, and the differences between the 4 and the 5 spot and how Coach Davis wants to utilize those positions?
Yeah, so we're basically we start official practice on September 28th. So right now we're just kind of laying down the footprint, but it's been good. We're just kind of me being new here, kind of learning the system. And that's just basically what we're doing so far. Just kind of getting the basics down.
So you haven't actually dived into the differences and what he's expecting out of the post positions?
No, yeah, we have. I mean, you do different things and different types of plays, but we haven't really sat down and I guess put in a bunch of all our plays.
Okay, thank you.
Patrick Welter.
Dustin, Pat Welter from WRAL Sports. How does it feel to be a part of a program with so much tradition, but that's also starting something new here with Coach Davis?
Feels great just because it's a great opportunity just to show people, what we all know we can do.
Brendan Marks.
Hey, Dawson. Yeah, just for you personally, what were some of your individual focuses this summer? What were the parts of your game that you really wanted to focus on, and how did you go about actually improving in those areas?
Yeah, so I actually spent my summer out in Memphis just working out, training, and I really just felt like I became a lot more of a consistent shooter, a better playmaker. I feel like my reads have gotten a lot better, and overall on defense too. I worked on my defensive lot, staying in front of people, whether it's 1 through 5. And just can continue to, build my base and getting stronger, more explosive. I think those are all things that I accomplished this summer, and I'm looking forward to keep building off that.
Thank you.
Ross.
Yeah, and to kind of build off that answer, what do you think you bring as a player? Like, just talk about kind of who you are, how you fit in, but what you can bring to this team as a stretch forward and in your talents and abilities.
Yeah, I mean, I think first off, I bring good energy when we're on the court. I like to compete, and I think I'm just someone that can step in and help this team tremendously, whether it's on defense, offense, getting a bucket, playmaking, just doing the things that I do.
Anybody else for Dawson? Oh, CL, then Kip. Sorry.
Yeah, Dawson, I was curious too. Had Coach Wojo been retained at Marquette, would you have still entered the transfer portal, or was it because of kind of the transition there you decided to open up your recruitment again?
Yeah, I think it was more so just because of the transition. I felt comfortable with the coaching staff at Marquette, and Wojo's still my guy. I still talk to him every once in a while. Nothing but good things to say about him and that staff. So I think it was just more just being comfortable with the staff at Marquette prior, and then just coming here already having that relationship with Hubert, and then having Kerwin here as well, and just being a part of a dynasty.
And just a quick follow, has Wojo kind of kidded you at all going from a Duke guy to now Carolina?
I mean, not really. He just says I'm going to remember these games for the rest of my life. So he's excited for me.
Thank you.
Kip.
Yeah, Dawson, when you made that trip late last season to Chapel Hill, how did your perceptions change from that game to when you came back and joined the program? Biggest difference?
Man, I mean, I would say just the biggest difference is the name across my chest. But, it's still like I'm here working out with my teammates now, like getting close with them. I'm just excited for the season to get underway.
All right, anybody else for Dawson before we get Justin in? All right, Dawson, excuse me. Thank you very much.
I appreciate you guys.